The Syrian Arab Army SAA, the National Defense Forces NDF, and the Syrian Social Nationalist Party SSNP are preparing for a full-scale ground offensive inside northern Homs. The Al-Hula and Al-Rastan plains are the first target of Assad's forces. Since Saturday, the Syrian forces conducted preparatory fire on the militants' positions at Al-Rastan and Talbiaseh. The Syrian Al-Qaeda branch, Jabhat al-Nusra, and its ally Free Syrian Army, FSA, hold the ground there. The ground offensive in northern Homs is supported by the Russian Air Force targeting the large concentration of al-Nusra militants inside this area. To the east of Homs, not far from Tadmor, a pair of Su-25M attack aircraft and an Su-24 bomber attacked two areas of concentration of ISIS military hardware. In total, about 20 T-55 tanks seized earlier from the Syrian army were destroyed. Detonation of the fuel and munitions caused multiple fires. One of the most important strategic mistakes of the Syrian headquarters in this war was that they conceded the existence of numerous militants' enclaves in government-controlled territory. These encircled fortifications draw back pro-government forces from the main front line. If the Syrian forces take control of the Al-Hula and Al-Rastan plains, al-Nusra militants will be locked inside the Al-Wa'ar district of Homs city. It's questionable that the SAA and its allies will be able to deliver the final blow to the terrorists there in the fortified and mine-studded residential areas. Nonetheless, it will allow Assad's government to release additional military resources and capabilities for other areas. Meanwhile, ISIS launched a full-scale assault on the provincial capital of the Deir Ezzor Governorate. The Syrian armed forces' positions at the military airport, the Al-Sinaa, Al-Hawika, Al-Amal districts, and the village of Al-Muriah came under pressure. According to Syrian military sources, the ISIS offensive was ill-prepared and ended as a disaster. The militant forces were crushed by the Syrian Arab Army, assisted by the Russian Air Force. Russian warplanes played an integral role, pounding the terrorist group with airstrikes. The Syrian Arab Army's 42nd and 63rd Brigades of the 4th Mechanized Division, supported by the NDF and the SSNP, started an advance on Jabhat al-Nusra, FSA, and Harakat Ara al-Sham at the village of Ain al-Dawla in the East Hills of al-Zabadani. At the moment, clashes are ongoing at the village of Ain al-Dawla. The very same time, the SAA faced a group of ISIS militants to the north of al-Zabadani. The clashes are going along the Kara Deir Atiyah road that leads to the imperative Damascus-Aleppo highway. Fights were observed at the southern Damascus districts of Al-Taqadam, Yarmouk Camp, and Al-Tadamon. SAA launched a series of airstrikes against ISIS positions there. Then, the Palestine Liberation Army, PLA, in coordination with the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine General Command, PFLPGC, Fatah al-Intifada, and the NDF, carried out an attack against ISIS on 30th Street in the Yarmouk Camp district. Thus, it became clear that the Russian Aerospace Defense Forces were a game-changer in Syria. The air support allowed the Syrian government to go on the offensive in a number of important areas and start preparatory actions for a full-scale ground operation in Homs.